Yeah.
Good.
I'm going
Good
to
to see
Orlando.
you.
Good to see you too, man.
You coming to the old Lindale?
Yeah, I'll be down there soon, man.
Man, that's where I'm at.
Oh yeah, I'll be down there a lot, man. I love it down there.
Okay, man. We'll
ask
link
if you got any
up.
hookups
Have to
with Disney
exchange
World or
numbers,
something,
yeah.
man.
We'll link up.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Got to do that.
Hey, Lindale, what body are you rocking now?
Huh?
You rocking that 190 something, or you got some girth on you now?
Nah, yeah, I'm 225 right now.
There you
man.
go. There you go. You back.
Lindale right now. So yeah.
I saw you skinny one time. It didn't look right.
Yeah, man. That was a long story behind that too.
I know. Good to talk to you.
It's definitely good, man. It's good to see you. I'm glad everything's good with you.
Good. Yeah, I won't be able to figure out if everybody who played with whom. I can't remember. To me, it's all one big team. So I can't remember when Frosty played. Frosty, who did you play with? Did you play with Kerry?
Yeah, that's the year the
Rose Bowl, first Rose Bowl.
Yeah, that was a long story.
First Michigan when Kerry went off.
Oh, Kerry went crazy. Yep.
Yeah.
What up, fellas? What up?
T2.
Oh.
You got the free Reggie shirt on too, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Reggie. There you go.
Free Reggie.
I didn't even think about that, man. My old DB coach is the
T2.
coach over there at the Saints.
I got you.
How we doing?
What's up?
Solid.
Call it, man. Enjoying this Friday. What up, Chubb?
This is great. What's up, man? We need.
Hey, your little boy just turned 3, Frosty.
What was that?
Your little boy just turned 3.
I'm here.
Yeah, Lincoln turned 3 today. I got his little balloons back here right now.
Oh yeah,
There you go.
Little animal.
I need to join the club one day.
Be selective.
Yeah,
There he is.
that time.
Gary, be
LT,
selective.
what's up, baby?
Yeah, right. I hear you, Ruck.
What you got in that cup, Loafer?
My morning coffee.
There you go.
A little CBD.
Hey, Rich.
What's up, K. Rich? You got your mug too, huh?
Yeah, there they go. Yes,
you got your
indeed.
pimp juice, baby.
Oh, this right here?
Hey, Rich.
Yeah, this my morning coffee.
Cup of Joe.
Hey,
running one in
you
Seattle.
guys just coming
What's
on
up, Coach?
right now. We're live, so I just want to give you a heads up. We're live right now, but we're not starting the show. We're just doing this feminist chewing chat. So just want to let you know, baby.
We stay live, man.
Oh, good
Hey,
Lord.
Tater looks different. He's changed a little bit.
Hey, Coach.
Oh, it's Taylor Made, not Mays.
Hey, Coach. Hey, listen. I told K. Rich, I sent a video. I said, man, that Trojan walk, everything was hot. I said, all y'all was missing was the smoke, baby. The UM smoke. That's all. It would have took it to the top, baby.
We didn't need that smoke.
Right. So
That's what he
You
said.
didn't want that smoke.
right. That was my response. My
That's
response
his
was
response.
when you constantly on fire, you ain't got time for smoke.
Ooh.
Smoke is for before
start
and
off
after.
hot.
But we stay on fire.
We started off hot.
Yeah,
I'm saying. Understand.
Hey, man. Hey, and then Loafer hit me over the head. Hey, 2 championships in 25-1. I couldn't say nothing to that. I couldn't say nothing. It was on.
Only lost
Many
triple
can't say
overtime.
Boy, hey, Loafer, what you just got doing some push-ups? Boy, you looking great. What?
Look like that, actually.
Oh, my God.
CBD.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
He had the band over there getting right.
And me and Loafer at the CBD club.
I'll go back out there. I don't know how long I'll last, though.
Hey, I say I always keep one play in my back pocket, prevent.
2 yards goal line.
Stay deep.
Prevent or victory. If I was offense, it'd be victory. Take a knee.
Don't be throwing that sticker out at Loafer. He's got one. He's gonna take it.
Oh yeah, he gonna do that for sure.
My
AMB, man, that's a nice hat you got on, man.
Hey, it's from Walmart, man. $8 hat.
Oh no, I don't know about that.
I'm serious. Look at
Okay, that looks nice and expensive, man.
Hey,
Like
no, bro, not like you. I knew you got Louis and something. You,
Oh.
hey, you lucky it's a family show. I'm like, okay, man, you probably got Gucci underwear on right now or something, you know?
Well, trust me, we wouldn't prove that. We wouldn't prove that theory.
Oh man, TT, what's up, baby?
How we doing, man?
Yeah, he is. All right, T2.
T2.
Okay. Hey, Rick.
We cover somebody.
John, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, John for life, man. You know,
sir.
I know my boy Jesse Armstead out there.
Oh yeah, man. Jess took great care of me.
Yeah, he good people.
Yeah,
Man.
he was a good locker room dude, man. Appreciate his presence.
Let me text the rest of the guys, man. We may have to find somebody.
You said 250, man. So that's a big window. You know?
Oh no! I take be here 2:30. See, there you go. CP time.
Hey Dale, what's happening, man? What's up, KC?
What's up, baby?
Oh man, I'm just checking out the other little uniform you got on right there, KC.
Oh yeah, I'm on my free Reggie right now.
There you go.
We recruiting. We've been behind in 10 years. You know what I mean? Not being able to use them, so we're gonna take advantage of all the opportunities now.
Yes, indeed.
We need
I'm
all
gonna
that.
go overboard. I might go overboard these first couple months. You know, we couldn't even. I couldn't do anything, man. Put his name on anything. Couldn't post no pictures. So
That's crazy.
Okay.
Oh no, man, that's humbling, man. You're talking about a brother, real brother, you know. So
yeah,
glad everything has kind of worked itself out.
for sure. Thunder and lightning. I don't know what this backfield is called, but you know what I mean? It's something like
I don't know either, but I know we got thunder on this
Who
moment.
is that little ass 83?
You know what I mean?
I know that we probably did something big on that play for sure.
Little R option.
Especially in that game.
Little zoo to trouble left, probably, you know, a little R option. But that, you know what I mean? It looked like a rock though, Lindell.
I think we had 8 sacks. That's what won the game.
No doubt.
9.
9. Ooh, I see you, coach. All caps, right?
9.
Big stat right there.
6. They gave us 6 sacks all season too.
Who was the quarterback?
Navarre.
Oh my, yeah. Well, that explains a lot then, Loaf.
Uh-oh.
See why y'all had back.
Who the running back was nice though, Perry.
Chris Perry.
Very was nice.
Man, he was a beast.
Braylon Edwards, Steve Breast.
They getting that look back in their eye.
You never know that sound come on.
Yeah, baby. Bam. You guys don't even know who that is.
Who are we talking about?
You don't know who that is.
I don't know none of them.
It's going kind of grainy. There we go.
Yeah, baby, here we go. Oh, no.
Bird.
It's D-Bird.
Juice.
Yeah, we got the juice coming on.
Oh, big guard.
Look at Parr. It's a good day. He's back.
Dallas starts.
Ooh, last play.
Oh, yeah.
Uncle said.
Dad.
That's a good highlight right here.
Mike Garrett.
see ya. Yeah.
Hey, Lendell, you can't get any love. Oh, yeah.
KC.
That's all.
KC must have produced this.
Yeah.
Hey.
Ryan Padrell?
That was a Bealy, right?
No verse.
Eddie D.
Where's Broody good?
Yeah, where's Bruce?
More highlight.
Boss Grandola music. Sideline the baseline. You know
That
it's
you
still
running?
on our Sideline the baseline.
Old school?
Sideline the baseline. I'ma take it back from the goal line. Sideline the baseline. I'ma shoot my shot. I'ma make mine. Sideline the baseline. You know we stay on our grind. Sideline the baseline. I'ma shoot my shot. I'ma make mine. Sideline the baseline. You know we stay on our grind. Sideline the baseline. I'ma take it back from the goal line. Sports song. He say hut, then I go long. Scoring all them touchdowns, I gotta stand that end zone. Pick me up a basketball, I can make a shot when I'm in the dark.
Hello.
I can grab a baseball and hit the ball right out the park. I'm a crazy different athlete, and I can really got talent. Basketball and baseball, two different sports.
Come on, Taylor, man.
You already see it too.
Yeah, Taylor made.
Hard lessons, Taylor.
We need
Hard
Coon.
Hard lessons.
Yeah, DC.
Yeah, DC.
Coon.
Let's go.
TC.
Nice.
Sammy B.
What
Yeah,
up?
Baker. There you go, Sammy. What's
I
up?
know.
How we doing?
Good.
Champ.
Listen,
How do we get more pictures on here?
BC, what the hell?
Yeah, I see you, Pudge.
Right.
This is great.
Man, for real.
Oh, what's up?
What's
Yeah.
up?
Me too. I see you, man.
Yes, sir.
Rock.
Man.
What's up, Rock?
Bill, hey, Coach.
Rock.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, what up, Rock?
Frosty, where you living, man?
Zamunda.
Yeah. Wakanda. He's in Wakanda. So you can't get there. It's Wakanda.
Right.
Sammy, what's going on, man?
Yeah, that
Hi, Coach. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing
Yeah.
good. You got some babies?
I got 2 boys. We just got out the pool. Sorry we're late.
It'd be nice raining up here in Seattle.
Ouch.
What's up, Ryan?
What's up, Coach?
How you doing?
I'm good. How we doing?
Good, good. Shit, what are you doing down there at the Coliseum, man?
That's top. Yeah.
You just set up down there, huh?
Right there.
There's nobody here, so it's great.
Waiting for Will Ferrell.
Quarantine. I got the whole place to myself.
For Will Ferrell.
Mike
Oh,
Williams
shoot,
Sr.
that's
Mike Williams
EM Dub.
Sr.
The guy?
The guys,
You look great, bro.
the guy's getting on here.
All right.
Oh, there he is.
Don't be dumb.
Hey,
Be dumb himself.
don't be done.
Don't be dumb.
Let's go.
I mean, why is Alex Holmes not on here?
Enoch.
He's down at the club.
BC got to get him, man.
I think that recruiting's getting better. Alex is around.
3 years is enough.
He's back.
I'm done tracking that dude down. I'll go get him.
I really hope we can get through a show. This might just turn into a bowl game.
There's something supposed to be happening.
We got a pretty good looking club right now.
Going.
I see that red recording button. I'm holding back as much as I can right now.
We got to get a QB in here. We got a pretty good looking team coming up right here.
Get Cass, dog.
What's up, man? I got the lefty.
Can we get Squirrel in here?
Squirrel.
Lemos. Come on, man. Where's the torch?
Nah, we need Lee Webb.
Hey, where's Torch when we need him?
Where's Oregon?
Yeah, Lee Webb.
Lee Webb.
We need Lee Weezy.
Lee Webb.
Yeah. Fire us all up.
Big Champ. What about Champ Simmons?
Gotta get Champ. Where's Champ Simmons?
There you go. There you go. We need the whole family. We need their dad to come on. He's the one who was responsible for it all.
Just passed, rest in peace, a couple months ago, man.
Yeah.
Oh, he did? Oh, I'm sorry.
Is that right?
Rest in peace. He was. What a heck of a dad he was, man.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah, a whole bunch of animals.
Indeed.
BMW. That's great.
Hey, Frost, I'm still waiting on that book, man.
Man, you supposed to call me back. True story.
I got Pastor Seto. He might not have any more material, but I've got a lot of coaches in here, that need to be leaving me some information so I can get back with y'all on some of these playbooks.
He asked me about
always
Head
working,
Coach Williams.
Always working, Sam. Always working, baby.
I love it.
Coach Mike.
Get a 6'5" receiver and throw it to him every day.
Sluggo seam.
Got some kids.
Sluggo seam, Mike. That's it. Sluggo seam.
We got some kids.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Red. Hit the Sluggo. Say hit the Sluggo one time.
Yeah.
Those that it's hard to get a Sluggo nowadays. Them kids are getting coached a little better. They're getting coached a little better. They don't just bite the slants no more.
I got you.
What's up, Big Mike?
What's up, Coach? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Good to see you.
Yeah, likewise, man. You big time. What they get you? What they get to get you on this thing?
Oh, shit, I don't know. I owe it to Mike. I owe it to MB. No, this is fun, man. This is awesome. See how you get. Hey, Mike, remember when that Florida coach was? I can't remember what the guy's name was. Came to your door and he, on a recruiting visit, and he said, "Man, you're a big son of a bitch. You defensive end." You remember that?
Yeah.
What was that guy's name?
Coach O.
Hey, how about Coach O? How about Coach O? Is he kicking ass?
For my dude, man.
God, man, he's killing it. He's killing it.
Got the recipe.
You know, he became a nice guy. He softened up, you know.
Yeah.
He changed his ways.
Coach
I don't know
O,
about that.
I know you can't believe it. He did.
Coach O is nice now, for real.
I don't know about that.
Mr. Nice Guy.
No way. Raging Cajun. I knew him at Miami. There's no way he softened up. That's the
Yeah,
Raging
he
Cajun.
did.
We're gonna get it.
Who the hell farted?
No way he softened
Ain't no
up.
man should have to smell another man's insides.
That bottom lip start quivering.
Loose groin is a happy groin.
Yeah.
Where's Coach O, man? Let's get Coach O on here.
That'd be amazing.
Hey, Mike, I'm just texting guys like crazy.
Translator.
Come on, so I'll try O.
Coach O.
Kerry, what's up, man? How's
You
your
got
group?
it, baby.
How's your group?
They good. They working remotely. Everybody's on their own right now, but they doing well.
Them boys look like they're gonna make your job easy, boy. You're gonna look like a real good coach.
Man, that's how it should be. That's how it should be. Well, they
Now I
big
see
coach.
Sean Cody.
Now I see why Kip. Now I see how Kip was eating all that.
Bingo.
Oh, man, you got to recruit good players, man. That's the secret.
Yeah, how are we doing that when the SEC just doesn't care and we're gonna maybe shut down? How do you recruit against that?
Man,
I gotta go find gems from Massachusetts.
stay on it, man. Hey, the internet, Twitter, Instagram, all these Zoom meetings right now. So that's where it's at right now.
Where are those guys working out at, Kerry?
Everybody's on their own. So I mean, some guys are at home and in their garage. Some people in the backyard. I mean,
you ain't got to worry about
this.
He ready to lift every weight around there.
Who you say, Lindell?
St. Brown.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's in his DNA. His bloodline. They came out lifting. So
yeah.
Way to stay compliant, Kerry. KC. Yeah, way to stay compliant. You can't know any of that. Oh yeah.
Yes,
oh yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So,
according to his Instagram.
Cobra, Kerry,
what up?
So you have any say so on who's wearing that ace over there? Because I'm tired of seeing dudes wearing number 1 and don't even play on third down.
Damn. We got a we got a young one. We got a young gun in it right now. Can you
give him 0? Can you give him 0 till he work his way up?
Russell Westbrook, Agent 0.
Get up to 1.
Hey man, that was part of the recruiting process. Man. We had to get him in there one.
Coach Carroll, they putting dudes in there that don't even play, man. Dudes wearing the number, they don't even play, man. It's sad.
There's something wrong with that now.
Dudes don't even play, man.
Obviously, Lane Kiffin isn't recruiting them and promising shit like that.
Man, I don't know what's going on.
We got a real one in it. We got a real one in it right now. He going
out. All right, I'm gonna come check y'all out there. I'm gonna come catch the game. I'm gonna make sure I check y'all out.
No doubt.
Yeah, make him show it, Mike.
BC, where you at, man?
I'm in the bar.
Sharkies.
Sharkies.
Sharkies. Oh.
What's that?
Coach Barrows.
Okay, Taylor, man.
Sideline the baseline. I'ma shoot my shot, I'ma make mine. Sideline the baseline. I'ma take it back from the goal line. Sideline the baseline. I'ma shoot my shot, I'ma make mine. Sideline the baseline. You know we stay on our grind. Sideline the baseline. I'ma shoot my shot, I'ma make mine. Sideline the baseline. You know we stay on our grind. Sideline the baseline. I'ma take it back from the goal line. Sports song. He said hut, then I go long. Scoring all them touchdowns, I gotta stand that end zone. Pick me up a basketball, I can make a shot when I'm in the dark. I can grab a baseball and hit the ball right out the park. I'm a crazy different athlete and I can really got talent. Basketball and baseball, two different sports and I can still balance. Can't forget that football, cause that's really my real passion. Catch me on that big field and you gon' see my real talent. Sideline the baseline, you know we stay on our grind. Sideline the baseline, I'ma shoot a shot, I'ma make mine. Sideline the baseline, I'ma take it back from the goal line. Sideline the baseline, I'ma shoot my shot, I'ma make mine. Sideline the baseline, you know we stay on our grind. Sideline the baseline, I'ma shoot my shot, I'ma make mine. Sideline the baseline, you know we stay on our grind. Sideline the baseline, I'ma take it back from the goal.
Welcome to Sideline the Baseline with your host MB and your boy right here, K. Luke. We got them fighting Trojans in the building. It's time to fight on. Let's go, Trojans. Roll call. We got them all the way in here, fellas. We're going to start by the big man that got everything turned around, Coach Pete Carroll. We got Chris Richard, Kerry Colbert, Coach Rocky Seto, Lofa Tatupu, Frosty Rucker, Lindell Big Time White, Ryan Khalil, Sam Baker, Terrell Thomas. Man. We got him in the building, y'all. We so excited about MB. MB?
I'm here. Talk to me, baby. Talk to me. I'm like, man, I feel like I'm at a fight. It's like Michael Buffer. I'm like, oh, get ready to rumble. We got my team, West Side, USC, baby. Hey, I wanted to be a Trojan, but they didn't recruit at Florida during the time, coach. Golly, there's point shaving, man. I want to be a Trojan. All right. Hey, we got my boys on, man. I appreciate you guys coming on, man. Really appreciate it. We're gonna get right into it, man. Hey, I'm gonna pose this question. My boy Carson, the comeback Palmer, couldn't make it today. He was scheduled to be on. So I asked him this question, and when we play this video, I want to kick it back to you. The Trojan way, competition and fun. How did Pete Carroll and his staff turn this program around so quickly? So tell him, hey, show me that video, see what we're talking about, baby. Like, what did Pete Carroll and his staff do to turn that thing around so quickly? I mean, y'all turned that thing around like in the New York minute or LA minute, right? Tell me about that. What did he do to change the culture and to turn things around so quickly like that?
Yeah, I mean, he came in and he just was himself. He didn't come in and go, I'm going to flip this thing on its head. I'm going to fire every coach. He came in and he was Pete. And if anybody's ever spent time around Pete, he's just infectious. His energy, his passion for the game, his love to teach, his love of being around defensive football players and coaching defense and staying out of the football side or the offensive side of football, except for when it was something dealt with. The mental side of the game is so important to him and so big in his coaching. And he would never come over and say, hey, when you read this, do this, or when anything fundamental. He let the offensive guys handle the offense, and he had a big part and a big stake in the defense. But it was just an energy that he changed. And we went from Paul Hackett's staff, who was a former NFL coach and very dry, and look, you're here for a job, do your job, get it done. And then Pete came in and it was just fun. Practice was fun. Team meetings were fun. We had popsicle breaks randomly. He just changed it up, and he brought his energy in, and it was undeniable. He didn't come in saying, you guys have been terrible forever, I'm going to do everything different. He just came in and naturally, organically let his personality take over. And from the coaches he hired, there weren't yellers and screamers and, cursing at you left and right. They were supportive and they were positive, just like he was. So really, I mean, the biggest thing he did is he just threw himself into the program and let the program realize, I really like this guy. I want to follow him. I respect him. When he tells me something, I'm going to do it. And that just naturally, organically happened.
Right.
Popsicle breaks. What's he talking about?
Coach, when you hear your quarterback talk like that, what comes to mind?
We didn't do popsicle breaks all the time. What's he talking about? Come on.
Every other period, they say. That's what the word on the street is, Coach.
Really. No, it's great to hear him talk like that. The thing that we all did is we had fun, man. The whole thing was fun. And there was no reason for it not to be. And if it wasn't, on the days that it wasn't like that, then I was screwing it up. We didn't realize how good we were going to get early on. We didn't know that it was going to happen. We hoped it would. But once it started going, everybody just jumped on board and was in on it. And we held on to a level of performance that's really rare. And I'm really proud of it. There's nothing I'll be more proud of in my entire life of coaching than the run that we had, because we were so freaking good. We were killing it, and it was just a blast. And we just had fun with it all the way as long as we could. And appreciate so much all the guys that came through the program and had fun with it themselves, brought so much personality to it and character to it and style. We tried to play to the style of the guys as best we could and give them a chance to, shine and do what they're capable of doing. And they did, and it was just a big love fest. And it was really just a moment in time of a lifetime that I'm just cherish so much. It's fun to be with these guys. I can't believe all these guys are coming in. This is really cool. It looks like to me like my jersey over here. Lofa, you correct me, but that looks like it's backwards to me. Can you see Ronnie's jersey right there?
Oh yeah.
Is that on my screen? It's backwards. But anyway, that's just one. He one of my all-time favorite Trojans, and because he was as tough as you could ever be, and showed it everywhere he went. And loved our school so much. He's kind of the epitome of what Trojan life was to me. We never got to coach him there, but he's just a symbol to all of us about being great, doing great things, and being fucking crazy about loving this game that we play. So pretty sweet.
Hey, K Rich, man, jump in, man. You wore that 42. What is these
Go.
watching Carson video? What it triggers in you, K Rich? Oh, you gotta unmute yourself. Oh,
Right.
there you go.
Right. I think that's this tailor-made right here. It's tailor-made production going on right here. You know, I think the operative word is fun. And you heard Carson mention it, but that's the reality of it. And not as if there's anything against the coaches that we were able to play under, but I think Coach Carroll was kind of the perfect combination of what John Robinson was and what Coach Hackett was. And yeah, it may have been a little dry per se under Coach Hackett, but you know, like those popsicle breaks and that idea, you know, like that's what John Robinson did. You know, the level of focus and intensity that Coach Hackett brought, you know, obviously again more along the lines of Coach Schottenheimer, and you know, like I say, you got to recognize where he came from. So kind of bringing that level of discipline and intensity to a group, it was like the polar opposite of what we had in Coach Robinson. So when Coach Carroll got there, it was the perfect combination, you know, because it's easy to talk about what fun is and how we had fun, but like the truth of the matter is like, yeah, you want to have fun, but what's fun? You know, like ultimately at the end of the day, what it's not about, but winning. You know, winning, and there's a price to be paid. There's a discipline. There's an order to be paid when it comes to that price. And if the price tag is ultimately winning and you're willing to pay that price, then there's a level of commitment, discipline, and all the other things that you got to be willing to buy into. And I mean, Carson's absolutely right. You know, what Coach Carroll did is he came in and he was just true. He was true to himself and he was true to us and he didn't change. And that was kind of one of the things that I believe everybody was really looking for. You know, and it's kind of amazing because if you think about a majority of the guys who end up playing in college, it's like you're like, what have men ultimately done for them in their lives? You know, and what a lot of guys is, it's like a lot of men in their lives end up letting them down. You know, and I don't think that's not what happened. So why did it happen so fast? In my opinion, it's because you had a guy at the front of the room that didn't let us down. He stayed true to himself. He stayed true to us. And that energy, he brought it every day. And that's what made it infectious.
Hey, Kerry, you next. Follow up on what Chris said. Got to unmute yourself. Well, it seems like you're in timeout. You gotta...
Hold on now.
There you go.
Made, man. Hey, part two. Part two. No, K Rich is right. You know, K Rich has a unique perspective because you know, he played for the three coaches, Coach Robinson, Coach Hackett, Coach Carroll. I was part of Coach Hackett's last class, and of course, played for Coach Carroll for three. But I agree. I mean, Coach Carroll came as a perfect combination of kind of what we had and kind of where we needed to be and what the personality of the team was. And I think K Rich mentioned it earlier is, you know, the fun was really in the winning. And we were serious. We worked hard. We competed our tail off. That's the basis of the program, and the foundation of the program was to compete. And, you know, I think once we kind of we finally started learning how to win, you know, win the close games. I think that first year, you know, we were in some close games and we didn't really finish them out the way we probably could have or should have, or the way we did eventually down the road. But I think you know, Coach Carroll, you know, and his staff, you know, they led us in the right direction, and we had a great group of guys that believed and shared the same vision.
Hey, Coach Carroll, kind of elaborate on that. What was the turning point? What was the game that kind of put you over the top, put everything on track?
Hey, there was really. Am I on there? You got me?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, there was really a game, and Carson's not on here, right? He's not on.
No, sir.
Okay, we're going to Arizona, and I don't know. We were like 2-4, and in the first year, and we had just lost to back-to-back. I felt like it, Oregon and Washington, and we could have beat them both, and they were kind of on top of the Pac-10 at the time, and we had them, and we didn't. You know, we lost the end of the game, like Kerry was saying, and we went to Arizona. I'm gonna tell this whole story because it's a good story. And it's we get there on Fridays, and we go to the stadium, and it's we always go to the stadium and play a little game that we had, you know, with the linemen and stuff, and a little touch game, and just kind of have a little fun on the field, see the locker room, and then get to the hotel. When we get to that stadium and get off the bus, it seemed like it was 110. It was as hot as it could possibly be. Am I okay? Yeah, okay. And we go out in the field, and the guys are all sitting around just hanging, and nobody wants to do nothing. Nobody wants to have any fun. I can't talk the guys into having our little touch game that we already had. And I mean, the place was freaking dead. I mean, we're 2-4. We're on the road to Arizona. We look like we don't have a chance. So I called all the coaches up, and I don't know if we got the hotel or something. And I said, I want you guys to tell any story that you can tell with all of the energy and the juice that you can generate, and challenge these guys. I don't care if you MF them or what you do, but do whatever you can, because we're so dead now, we ain't got a chance. Well, also that was going on, and this is before the night meeting. Also, what was going on is at that time, Carson, you know, we're 2-4 and all that. And I was thinking of, I think between Leinart and Carson, they were waiting to see who's going to start the game. And so I was at the verge of changing from Carson to Leinart. And I remember telling Matt that night at the hotel that, you know, hey, Matt, there's no way I'm going Carson. You got to do it. And just broke his heart just because he thought he was going to get his chance to start. We go into these meetings, and guys tell these freaking stories. I don't know if you guys can remember now. There was some crazy ass stories. Eddie O, the guys were crying. They were, I think it was Nick Holt just went off like crazy. Everybody was telling everything they could think of to try to rouse the guys up. So we go out and we're playing the game the next night in Arizona, hot as hell. And we're kind of around the game. We're kind of in and out of the game, just like we had been with Washington and with Oregon. But we were behind at the time. And Arizona had this big old running back. You remember what the guy's name was, Chris? Who's that big old running back they had? Some guy was a stud. He was tearing us up. But as luck would have it, and good fortune would come together at the same time, they threw a ball out in the flat. And K. Rich picks it off in the flat and goes about 70 yards with it down the sidelines and put us ahead in the game. And we held on and won that game. And we go into that crappy ass little locker room. Remember that little locker room they had? It was just terrible. That little down below the stadium, horrible.
Yes, indeed.
Like a freaking bathroom or something we were in. And I can remember saying, fellas, we don't have to lose another game. We have finally got to the point when the game was on the line, a play was made, we rose up, won a game. We don't ever have to lose another game. Holy shit, man, we didn't lose very many games from that on now. And that was the turning point to me. And that's when it's fun that Chris was here because he was part of that play and all that. But guys were in that were there. It was an amazing time. And that's kind of when the run started. And we had a couple trips along the way, but not many of them. And that's where we started to understand what it took to win football games and how to finish them. And we became a great finishing program for years and years. That started right there. So you got it. Long story.
No, that's great. Thanks for sharing that. Hey, Chris, why don't you elaborate about that play, baby?
That moment.
Legendary play.
Rich on that left sideline.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you, Clarence Farmer was the running back.
There you go.
Yeah, number 33. Now, that dude was an animal. He was a hell of a back. As a matter of fact, I think he was somewhere from out here in Texas or something like that. I don't know, but he was a damn good back. But yeah, the play. So it was a simple smash concept, China concept. It was a 2-minute drill. They were trying to drive down a win, and I was in a boundary at the time. So if you could think about it, shortest throw for the quarterback, especially in college football, is going to come up into the boundary. Time's ticking. The guy just sat down in front of me. We're in a pressure. We're actually in a pressure.
Tell him, Chris.
Yeah, so cowboy, right? So it was cowboy. So
that's right.
It was Cowboys. There it is. So check sheriff. So it was a corner pressure. Came out. They had slot into the boundary. Am I supposed to remember all this shit? Like,
ball coach, baby.
Even though we were ahead, so you got it.
Right. So they came out, slot into the boundary. Obviously, you start thinking ball there, and what are the type of concepts that they're going to ultimately try in that situation. The guy ran a hitch in front of me, quarterback set up. As soon as he hitched, I stuck my foot in the ground and just took off. So he threw the ball, we picked it off, and that's it. The rest is history, man. But yeah, Coach is right. Really one of the most profound moments that obviously I could remember in my career, and obviously kind of being a part of it it wasn't the play within itself. It was what we heard after the game in the locker room, and I think the fact, it was a fact. Say we had played in a lot of close games, and whatever the record was at that time, I think we ended up 6-6 that year, and like the
Maybe
games that,
yeah,
something of that nature, right? So it's like however, like every game that we lost, like it averaged out to less than 5 points or something ridiculous.
Close.
So every game that we were in, it was like, a field goal wins, and I mean, it was frustrating. It was frustrating at the time, but like after that play, I mean, yeah, again, the rest is history. So like that was the truth. The guys kind of recognized that, yeah, we can sustain in the battle, and when somebody needs to step up, I mean, somebody's got to step up. So I mean, like I said, the rest of these guys that are on this form, I mean, that they're the guys that stepped up. Like I said, you talking about the Mike Williams and the Lindell Whites and all these guys, like. Once that play sort of happened, it's like it's the rest of those guys, like the rest of those guys were stepped up and kind of finished it off from there.
Wow, that's powerful. Hey, Rocky, I want to. What comes to mind? We kind of call you the keeper of the books, baby.
Yeah, absolutely.
The stories of what happened, their recollection. What's your thoughts? What thoughts come to mind, Rocky Seto?
Well, man, first of all, it's awesome to see everybody. And what Coach Carroll said comes to mind. He said that the time at the USC is the proudest time that he had as a coach. And I remember him and the staff preaching to the players, and all the Coach Carroll came from the NFL, and I was in the NFL just at USC. He goes, "This is going to be the best time of your life." And I remember players coming back from the league and saying, "Yeah, I played 10 years and won Super Bowls, but my time at USC is my favorite." I was like, in my mind, I was just there I played at USC. I was a coach at USC. I was like, yeah, right. Those times in the league must be great. But now that I had a chance to go in the NFL, and I don't know, I'm not going to speak for everyone here, but looking around, I think everyone had a chance to go in the NFL on this panel. And I just said, that was some wise words not to miss that time at USC. You know what I'm saying, Mike? And those times at USC were the best times that we had. And I think Coach Carroll's able to capture everybody's mind to be there in that moment, not to worry about the league. That'll show itself up eventually, but just for the players and the coaches to be captured in that moment. And I think that was critical. That was the thing. We're at SC. Let's not miss it. And I think that was a huge thing. And Coach Carroll, I felt like he gave us identity. On defense, we just had to play hard, get the ball, and play cover 3. Let's go. I mean, and we rode that all the way into Seattle. But on offense, as from the coach's view, I had the backdoor scene, KC, on this sort of thing. But I thought Coach helped give us an identity with a run game, with a stretch game, and that set up everything. And then that set up slants and sluggo seams and all that stuff. And so I guess what I like to land is he helped us really just enjoy that moment at USC. I mean, looking back, that was my favorite time coaching as well at USC. I love my Seattle time. Don't get me wrong. That was just phenomenal. But there's something that was deep into the fabric of my heart when that time at USC, when I think about it. And we all kind of found ourselves there. You know what I mean? I found myself as a man. I found myself, in my faith, in myself as a coach. Coach really helped shape who I was as a coach. And then, but he gave us very schematic, fundamental identity. We play, Casey, I'm telling you, we play cover 3. I mean, Chris could tell you, Mike could tell you, we won Super Bowls and got to Super Bowls doing that. You know what I mean? And I'm sure they're still trying to do that stuff there. And then also in the run game, I just saw how Justin Fargas got unleashed running the stretch and like a wild man. And
Jay Farg, where's he?
Yeah, and Jay Farg, and there's so many transfer guys like Will Poole and Champ Simmons, Lofa. I mean, guys like that just came in. And then the recruiting, I think the recruiting was fundamental. I mean, Coach Carroll made some bold moves. He made Coach Orgeron at the time the recruiting coordinator. Now that seems like a no-brainer now, but Coach Orgeron wasn't a recruiting coordinator up until that moment, and that was huge. He positioned the coaches where they needed to be. He positioned the players where they needed to be, and I just think that really helped give us identity and what our purpose was, and I'm just grateful for that time that we all had together, you know. So that's what comes to mind, Mike. You there, Mike?
Oh, Rock, I'm sorry about that. Can you hear me? Hey,
Yeah.
Matrix Reloaded, next man up. We don't rebuild, we reload. Rock, hey, Loafer, tell me how y'all kept this thing rolling, baby.
I mean, it was just, like I said, fun, but behind every team, there's two things on top of that. Competition is what makes everybody the best, you know, of the best. It brings out your best. And, you know, that's what with the recruits are there to bring. And like, I mean, that's as awesome as these times were, it was fighting every day, tooth and nail, through practice, through meetings, just to become our best. And then on top of that, just a belief and a love for each other as a team. You know, we believed in the mission, you know, and winning the national title, and we believed in each other. And so when you have those strong leaders like we had, you know, we just talked about K. Rich, Kerry, going down the line, Troy, Carson, it just kept going. We had some leaders at every position. And so, you know, eventually it just became, it's bigger than everybody, you know, any individual, and being a part of something bigger than yourself. I mean, there's nothing more you can ask for. And that journey, I remember the turning point. We lost to Cal in triple overtime and that damn Aaron Rodgers.
That's another good one, yeah.
And man, when we had it, we were right there. But and I'll tell a story. You know, we came back, and all anybody was talking about was just, you know, that bitter taste, that horrible, just, you know, taste of a loss. And so, you know, some of the guys come back to the apartment, and we're just talking about what we could have done better. We had just a group of guys that love football. And so it was always at the forefront of our mind. And, you know, Lendale here is a freshman. And, you know, I don't know if he got how many carries he got, but, you know, he pops off at the apartment. And this is a defensive house predominantly. There's a couple offensive guys there. And he popped off. He was like, well, that shit wouldn't have went down if I got the ball, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, and I had just got hurt too. Mike Will landed on my ankle. I crawled off the field and had to get an x-ray. So I was not having it. I wasn't hearing it. None of us were. So I stood up, you know, told him what I thought, you know, and he just said, he goes, you'll see. Just left it at that. And as fate would have it, we go to Arizona State the next week.
Tell the story.
The next week we go to Arizona State, and you know, just didn't really get anything going in the first half. But it's not about how you start, it's how you finish. And Lendale was like, I need to get some carries. And they started giving him the ball. He ended up with about 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. And, you know, he talked it, but he walked it. And that's what everyone did there. And so after the game, I go up to him, and it's just awkward silence because, like, I don't want to admit that I was wrong. You know, he wants to say, you know, I told you. And I just said, yo, bro, I'm sorry. We hugged it out. And I was just like, hey, man, I mean, I knew, but I didn't know until, I mean, I think he had like 15 carries for 150 yards. And it was just like, we were rolling from then on.
Hey, let me add that story. Let me add that story. Okay, we get our ass kicked in the first half. I think it's 21-3 or something like that at halftime. And we go into halftime, and it was, remember how hot it was? It was freaking smoking hot. And we're in that locker room, and Leinart had got just pounded. And what was it? Did they have Suggs at the time? Was that Terrell Suggs? He killed Leinart. Leinart couldn't even stand up hardly. And so we're in the locker room, and I think, if I remember right, was that when Freddie Matua went into convulsions? Was that game?
I think that was Stanford.
I thought he was right in the middle of the whole locker room. I thought somebody went into convulsions on the floor right in front of us. It was just a horrible scene. We're trying to make adjustments and get ready. I don't know who that was. But as we were lining up to get out to leave the locker room to go out for the second half, Leinert's sitting out on this table outside in the hallway, and he's got his head hanging down like this. He's not even moving. And every freaking guy had to walk right by our starting quarterback. And as we go down that long way. So I'm the last guy out, and I wait till the guys get down the hall, and I just motherfucked him. I mean, everything I could call him. You no good. You're going to let these guys down. You're not going to play in the second half. You know, but you got to get your ass out there. And he didn't even move. You know, I couldn't even get him to budge. So I said, screw it. That didn't work. So I go run out on the field, and I'm talking to Sark on the sidelines. And we're trying to figure out what's going on. So we don't have a chance, man. You know who's got to play quarterback now. Well, we're worried about it. And out of nowhere, the guys are warming up, and Sark says, hey, look at that. I look over my shoulder, and here comes Leinert coming out. And he's coming out of the locker. The last guy just kind of barely hobbling and making it out there. He said, okay, he's our only chance. Let's go with him. And that's when Lendale went off. And Lendale just went crazy. Reggie didn't do much in that game at all. But Lendale went nuts in the second half. Their stadium was going crazy, and we shut the whole freaking place up. And that's the next real big stage of when I know we won for like 3 years in a row after that, from that game, I think. After that Cal game. That was an amazing time. And I'll never forget Leinert just somehow made it back out there. Freaking puss. He should have been out there with the rest of us. But anyway, so.
Hey, Lindell, man, jump in there, baby. Move these chains, baby. Beast mode, beast mode, beast mode. Thunder and lightning.
You muted.
Oh, help him out. Tell him, May, help him out. You gotta unleash the beast. Thank God, it's the only thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Taylor Made. Right, go ahead and hit Lindell.
This is the only thing that can stop him Zoom.
Our lessons.
Put Sonny Bird in.
Our lessons.
All right, I'm back.
Where's Sonny Bird when we need him?
There you go.
No.
Yeah, those are good times, man. I definitely remember that. You know, they fed me, and we ended up winning the game. But that was definitely a turning point. I remember me and Lofa was definitely almost fisted, you know, about the fight that day. Because he's like, I was I was a young guy, but you know, I was definitely adamant about stuff. You know, Herschel was balling, but you know, he had fumbled that game, unfortunately, and that was what actually had turned the game around. And you know, everybody had thought like maybe if he would have held on to the ball, maybe we would have won that game. But we came out the next game, and like Coach Nim said, we didn't look back. We ended up running off 30-something straight games, and it was perfect.
Oh, hey Ryan, why don't you jump in?
Taylor made, boy.
Hey, you know what? Let's do this. Let everybody just unmute themselves. We're just gonna trust everybody to be quiet, so we're not getting a delay game anymore. Delay penalties. All right. Everybody unmute yourself. All right.
Yeah, that's good. We're all adults here.
All right. Yeah. This ain't daddy daycare. All right. Who we got? Ryan, you up, baby?
He's still muted.
He's still. Good Lord, help him.
Ryan was a true freshman that year and redshirted. You know what I'm saying? So I'll jump in for him.
Thanks, Kerry. Help me out.
Lindell played as a freshman. They're in the same class, but Ryan was a true freshman. Sam Baker, T2, they were all redshirted.
So, Kerry, tell me about the impact of that season, just what you learned from that. All right, being an older guy, I think that was your senior year, that 2003 season.
Yeah, it was you know, we had a lot of high expectations coming off the Orange Bowl year, Carson and Troy senior year. And, you know, we came out early and we won some games and we had a hiccup against Cal, you know, triple overtime loss. And I'll never forget coming back to campus that next week. I had a meeting with Coach Carroll upstairs, and he honestly he suggested to me that I hold a players only meeting, and you know, we ended up doing that, and basically, you know, we had a couple guys come up and speak, and we talked about, you know, that wasn't us who we were against Cal, who we played against, that team that was on the field against Cal. And we need to just get back on it, and everything that we wanted was still in front of us. And we took that mindset, that mentality 1 week at a time, and we just kept chipping away. And then, of course, obviously, we made it all the way down to I remember the last game of the season was Oregon State at home, and at that time we were ranked number 1 in the AP poll, and mindset was if we win this game, we're going to the Sugar Bowl. You know what I mean? We're gonna get in the national championship game, and we just had to get past Oregon State, and we played another great game, put it together. And, we thought we were going to the Sugar Bowl national championship game against LSU. And a couple weeks later, we ended up in the Rose Bowl against Michigan, which, was fine. I mean, we wanted to play in that national championship game, but we were able to beat Michigan in the Rose Bowl at home and share the national championship. But we learned a lot going through that process, and it was all from the top down, really.
Hey, Frosty. Hey, great job, Kerry. Hey, Frosty, why don't you jump in, man, and tell your side of the story.
Big Mike.
Hello?
Big Mike.
Hey, BMW, you want to take over? Go ahead. Go ahead and talk. We go ahead.
Roommate.
Hey, you got his back, baby.
Roommate.
Go ahead, go ahead, BMW. Go ahead and talk about it.
Nah, I don't know what angle to cover that everyone's already having covered. I just it's cool to come full circle. The game I visited on my recruiting trip was USC and UCLA, and Chris Richard had this pick between his legs. Man, he caught it, his calf muscle, and then he
Antoine Simmons.
And just how the Coliseum was. I remember I looked at my folks and I was like, yeah, we coming here. Like, so, and I didn't think the team was that good at the time, but I just, I like Troy. I thought Carson was all right. And so, I'm happy it all worked out. And then moving forward, just being able to host dudes like Lindell on their trip and telling them what kind of career he could have at SC. And then he ends up being the all-time, rushing touchdowns leader. And, that doesn't get enough credit, but I feel like I have a little responsibility in that. But just to kind of see that, I took a chance on SC coming to Florida, and then guys like Dwayne Jarrett, and then Lindell and guys from all over the state took that chance, and then later on Keith Rivers and even just just so many people that came from out of state. So I've always felt that pride and like feeling like I was kind of the first dude to kind of show that that this thing was going to turn around. So it was just it was a great experience.
Yeah, Mike, I'll be remiss to say if that wasn't Antoine Simmons, but that was
really
yeah. No, you're good. You're good. Bring the camera back. Bring the camera back.
That was you.
You're good. I'm telling you, you're good.
Hey,
that was
hey,
good
Mike.
though.
Mike, this is good said about him, man. Like, shout out to Antoine Simmons. Like this was a guy who was literally on his deathbed. Like this guy was like destined to be a first-round pick. And unfortunately, like he came down with cancer. We're teammates, man. And we went and saw this guy, and he's literally on his deathbed. And this dude came back and played college football. And that play kind of just stands out forever in our memories, right? It stands out in yours. It stands out in mine.
I gave you credit for it.
No, I appreciate that. But won't take it, right?
He's a good man, Chris. You're a good man.
Being a good teammate.
But shout out to Antoine Simmons, man, no doubt.
Hey, Frosty. Hey, can you jump in? I know you chose USC after going to Colorado State. What made you want to be a Trojan?
Coach O made me. I didn't have a choice. I got down there on a semi type of visit. I walked in a weight room. I seen BKU lifting weights. I turned around, and Coach O grabbed me by my collar. It was like, nah, you're not going nowhere. So I kind of got braced up to be a Trojan, but it worked out for me.
He got you to do some reps right there?
Oh, he tried. I was not ready for it. I wasn't hydrated or anything. I came in there and thought I was going on a recruiting trip to go to like the 9-0 or something. And he was like, nah, you need to sign this paper. I was like, so he braced me up pretty good, but it was the best decision I had made up to that point to be home in front of my friends, family, and be a part of something that was turning for the good. I remember during that transfer process, SC, you guys had lost to Utah in the Sun Bowl. So I was like,
yeah.
So I'm in this transfer situation. I'm like, I can go to any school I want. You know, everyone's calling. And these guys lost to Utah. I don't want to go to Utah. I mean, they can't beat Utah. Why am I going to go there? And I completely lost focus on what the Trojans were all about. And again, when I walked in and I seen BK, I was like, well, ain't no way I need to be around here. People look like that. You know, that guy was shredded up at 350. It's something I'd never seen before. And it worked out for me. You know, you guys embraced me. Transferring in with Lofa, Will Poole, that whole recruiting class that came in that year with Lindell, Reg, all the guys. It was a perfect time to, you know, go out there and show what you got and, you know, be a part of something. So it felt good. Lofa kept me going. He was my ace. He motivated me and pushed me because I was a linebacker when I started. So, you know, Lofa, you know, kept me focused on it. You know, he had the legacy thing with Pops. And, you know, I thought I was just an outsider. But, again, the staff kept me focused during my red shirt year. And, you know, again, it's the best decision I made.
Wow. Wow, that's awesome. Hey, Sammy, I know you guys was teammates in high school. Tell me why you chose USC, Sam. Can you unmute yourself? Good Lord, we in daddy daycare. Take them off.
Tailor made.
There you go, Sam.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, no, you know, with Frosty being up there, I remember my first workout, I went up there and puked everywhere in like 10 minutes. And I was like 340 at the time. And Frosty was like, damn, eat a salad, eat something, you know, like cut the bullshit. And so it was definitely something that I had to kind of figure out pretty quick there. And for me, it was guys like Sean Cody and Mike Patterson, guys that kind of had bought into the process. And, you know, I was struggling to even stay in front of those guys for one play a day. And it was one of those things that, you know, I can remember Sean Cody encouraging me just, hey, stick with it every day. Just trust this process. Come in, get your work in, compete, and it'll come. It'll come. And, you know, I'm getting the shit kicked out of me, think I'm never going to make it here. And, walking through the halls and Coach Carroll coming up to me saying, hey, this is exactly how it's supposed to be. And I'm thinking, what? Like, I'm going to be out of here, you know? And over time, you go against guys like Frosty, like BK, you know, Matt Grudegood, and all of a sudden your game starts to elevate. You know, you're in there competing against those guys. You're in the weight room. And it was just something that, luckily for me, like all those guys talked about earlier, is that I just kind of plugged myself into that process that was already there. And, you know, I just trusted it from kind of day one, because it was it was kind of a survival mechanism in a sense. But doing that just kind of changed it. And before long, I was like, all right, I'm gonna make it. It was just, you know, surviving day to day. And then before long, you're just kind of thriving. And you're like, okay, now I'm part of this system, and I'm ready to bring some other guys with me now, you know?
All right. Hey, Ryan, T2, you guys are part of that class as well. Why don't you describe your experience at USC as well? We got to unmute them. Oh, good Lord. Boy, they on timeout. What, y'all in detention? Come on. There you go. Oh.
You got to pay your intern.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Got a power trip with that mute button now.
Hey, so the mate ain't playing. Y'all sit your ass still. Great to see everyone, man. All my brothers, man. Hearing these stories, man. I knew we were going to hear that Chris Richard story just because it's so dear to Coach Carroll's heart, and it really turned around the program. And then I would like to add, man, that Cal game when Lindell came back, he was popping off. And I redshirted that year. I was in a sling. I had shoulder surgery. And I was salty as well. And he was just popping off. You know, Lindell always just had an attitude about himself. But like Lofa said, he backed it up. And I remember we went at it that night, man. And he was like, just watch. And that next game, man, that boy went off. And it was history was made after that. So, big respect to Chubbs, man, and just everybody, because we really competed against each other. We challenged each other, and we never took it personal. You know what I mean? We would get in each other's face, but it was always a mutual respect amongst all of us, whether you were a starter, All-American, red shirt, you know, injured, whatever. It was just always a mutual respect. But yeah, just our time at USC, man, it was just a great time. I went through the ringers. I came in with a great recruiting class, and redshirted, had a couple of injuries, but was able to fight and and make it through. And shout out to Rocky. Loaf would tell you all the time that I speak very highly of Rocky, man. You really changed that DB room. Me and Kevin Ellison, rest in peace, was my brother, man. We met with Seto and we said, what do we have to do, man, to get to the league? And he challenged us, and we challenged everybody from the walk-ons down to the starters, man. We had a high level of expectations in that meeting room, and I think about 5 of us got drafted, second, third, fifth round. So, Rocky, I don't think you got a lot of respect for your tenure at USC, man, but you were a hell of a coach and the glue that we needed. And, Pete was the mastermind behind it all. He put some crazy mother suckers around us, man. We had some wild coaches, and as players we were wild too. And it just worked, man. We had a lot of fun, but we competed hard. And Ruck, I don't know if you remember this, man, but when you graduated, man, I was like, "What's wrong, man? You just graduated." And he was just sad. He was like, because he said it gets real now. He said, "I'm an adult," and for whatever reason, bro, that always stuck with me. I've always thought about that. Even when I graduated, went to the league, and it's like, damn, man, I'm sitting here with 3 kids, and I would love to go back to USC for just 1 year. I don't care what year it is, man, because we had so much fun, and I'm just blessed to be part of a great group of guys.
Hey, Ryan, step in there, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I share the same sentiment as T2. I think there's a lot of guys on this call that had a huge influence on my career. There's a lot of hard work that goes into being successful, both individually and as a team. I know for me, though, there's a little bit of luck, and I was about one more good SC season away from them not even talking to me, because I was still at a time where they were still talking to 2, 3-star recruits, and it took me a while to convince Coach that I'd make a positive impact on his team, and I had to go to like 4 or 5 Nike camps and meet the wrath of all these 5-star guys that they were putting me up against. And I get it. I was always sort of undersized, so that part of it I always understood. But yeah, we got there, and obviously I got lucky to be a part of that group because something special was brewing, and I don't think any of us knew where we were going at that point. I mean, obviously we all were hopeful for it, and we were all buying in, but I don't think any of us thought we were going to make the run that we made. And a lot of that stems from, like the guys said, all that hard work. Because I got to tell you, Carson's talking about these non-yelling coaches. I don't know where these guys went. That was Pete's formula, though. He played the cool uncle while he had all the dickhead coaches run the show. He was the guy that you bought into at the end. I don't know what he was talking about. I always thought that was smart. But I think the thing Coach did a great job of is he had these incredible assistant coaches, and they did a number on the leadership of the older guys in that room. My first season, I was just happy to be there. I was a backup to Norm Katnick. I got to learn a ton from him, and we taught Pete's mantras were always about competing and finishing, and they seared the hell out of that into us. But I got my first real lesson of it my second year. So my first year, I was a backup to Katnick, and we had that great run, and we ended up sharing that national championship after beating Michigan. And then he graduated, and then that was it. I thought I was a shoo-in. So I got a real life lesson on competing. So I thought I earned it. I bust my ass in all those Nike camps. I was a pretty company guy there when I was there early on in my career. And then Pete went out and got not only the #1 offensive line recruit in the country, he got the #1 recruit in the country in Jeff Byers, who was up for Gatorade Player of the Year against Dwight Howard. So this guy was basically a shoo-in for the job. I hadn't even had a chance in spring ball, and this was the guy that was basically that I had to compete against. This guy, you see the love in this.
There you go.
This was his right now.
That's the Ryan I remember.
Center position.
There you go. Prepared.
And I got to be honest with you. I was a little defeated in that spring. We had all these competition workouts. He was like one of the first guys, and at the end of every drill, And so in all those drills, I think, they did a great job. And, one of the things Coach always did a good job of was, and I think a lot of coaches try to do this, but successfully he did this, was he tried to make the practices harder than the game. He tried to make the conditioning so extreme that nobody was ever going to out-condition us. And that was true. I mean, these were some of the hardest things I've ever, even harder than the stuff in the pros. And Mike, you don't know this, but I'm gonna tell this story because this stayed with me my whole career. So I said I got a lot of guys on here that had a big impact, but this stayed with me till the end, what Mike Williams told me. I guarantee you Mike doesn't remember this. So we had a competition drill in conditioning in the off season, and all the new recruits were there. Jeff Byers was there early, and he was busting his ass. And I was like finishing middle of the pack, and everything was about finishing. And we had a thing where even at the end of all the conditioning, you had to run into the locker room. So you didn't run halfway and then walk. You didn't kind of jog in. Like, you sprinted to the locker room all the way to the door. Well, we were out there one day, and I was kind of feeling sorry for myself. And we get to about 20 feet before the door. I sprinted in. I started walking in, and Mike stopped and just absolutely let me have it verbally. And I'm looking around. I see Sam. Sam's like, I don't know. And I'm like kind of hurt, right? I'm kind of heartbroken that this guy's attacking me. And it's only in hindsight that I understand what he's doing. And he finishes by saying, I'll tell you what, though, I bet you Jeff Byers ain't walking. And he just turned and walked in, mic drop and walked in. And I swear to you, Mike, I have never forgot that for the rest of my career. Anytime I was feeling sorry for myself, anytime I thought about cutting a corner, anytime I thought about stepping up short, your damn face with that look of like, you not. But man, but as a kid, you take that as you're attacking me. And then in hindsight, looking back, I see you were attacking a problem. And so I appreciate you and love you for that for the rest of my career. But I eventually got to beat Jeff out. And then Jeff later on came to play with me in Carolina. So him and I we kind of butted heads in that competition, which was always fun to watch, that you had guys who sort of strained and they put us up against each other. But then at the end of the day, we all became brothers. And I think a lot of that came in us understanding what the common goals were. But yeah, that was a special group for sure.
Hey, let me just add real quick. Ryan was talking about those Nike camps. Ryan, there was the last Nike camp that we were going to have, that we had, we were up against the fence in a pass rush drill, and we had already kind of declared as a staff, Ryan's a rude man. He's a good ball player and all that, but God dang, we're at SC, man. Look, he's like 6'1" or something, whatever you were, I don't know. And so you had just freaking battled your ass off that whole day. Your shirt was, Eddie was running those drills, and your shirt was, I don't know if it was Tim or who the line coach was at the time, but you had just fought and scratched, dirty and shitty and grimy and all that, And I remember stepping back from that pass rush drill that you were involved and said, "There's no way we can't let this guy on our team. Man, he may be not this, he may not be that. Well, this guy's got to be on our team." And really, you weren't going to make it until you battled your ass off so hard that it was undeniably, we had to have you. And the rest of history.
I have a confession that I've been holding on to for a long time. So the Nike camps, when you go around the different stations and they fill out your weight and height and all that shit, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I may or may not have added my height and weight to it illegally with a green pen. I happen to find a green pen that matched the ink on it. I may or may not have.
You ain't cheating. You ain't trying. You either competing or you're not, man. There you go.
Hey, BC, once you jump in, you was heavily involved with recruiting, man. Jump in and give your opinion on that.
What was that, Mike?
I'm talking to BC.
Gotcha.
Talk to me, BC.
Yeah, Dad, can I talk? Thanks. Gave me some random Zoom code and I typed it in. I'm on this interview panel now. Hey, it's great to see all you guys. It's fantastic to have you back. The thread between all these guys is that they're just warriors. They're gritty, mentally tough. You have the prerequisite is talent, but just looking back, these are guys you want to go to war with. These are guys you want to battle with. If you look back, I got to coach my first 2 years. I was coaching the scout team, and my starters are Lofa and Frosty on scout team, and then a year or two later, it's Clay Matthews. So the level of talent, it's undeniable. undeniable. There was just a great collection of guys, the right type of players, guys that loved to battle, didn't mind doing the dirty work. So it was great to be a part of. It was great to see it live and see it kind of manifest through the years. From going back to, I remember I was at Pitt, and I flew in on my bye week to go see the UCLA game that Mike's first one. So that was my first experience in the Coliseum. And that just felt different in college football. And it was great to be part of, man. I know Coach Barrow and I went back to try to go do the 305 again. Yeah, physical. So Coach Barrow and I have been through
physical. Hey, one person that's missing from this 2003 recruiting class is my boy Reggie, man. Welcome home, Reggie Bush, man. What's your thoughts on that, guys? Anybody can talk.
I just Mike, before I gotta get off at 4.
Okay.
So I just want to make a point first. I'm glad you brought up Reggie. What a great deal that the dude's back, man. He was such a freaking warrior. He was so much fun to play with. He made all that his aspect of the fun part come to life, man. He did a great job, and he paid a big price, and everybody paid a big price. Reggie certainly did. He deserves to be back with us. He is us, and I'm thrilled that finally turned around. And I'm never gonna get over what happened there, but the fact that Reg gets back, awesome. It's great to have him back. Thanks, you guys. I gotta go, but love you guys. It was a freaking blast.
All right, Coach.
All right, Coach.
Thanks for all the kind words too, huh? Jeez.
Hey, Frosty, why don't you jump in and finish where Coach left off, Frosty?
About Reg?
Yes, sir. Welcome home, Reggie, baby.
Yeah, welcome home. We all put a lot of work in. Reggie separated himself by his work ethic, him being wanting to compete. Obviously, he came in a crowded room with Lindell and Chauncey, Hirsch, and they all had their role. And Reggie was just who he is. He was a track star, a phenomenal football player, and his work ethic is why we were all so disappointed with him being absent for these past 10 years. Despite whatever happened off the field and what we had no control about, what he put in to the team and how he went in the weight room and how he carried himself around us is what was so damaging for all of us. So we're glad to have him back. We're glad we can put the whole game back together and maybe have a salute to Troy or something and recognize our team as whole and not just missing a solid piece of it. Again, it just feels good. It's a feel-good moment as we go through this COVID thing, and you don't know. There's so many things that are going on in the world, but that's a great story, and it felt really good to be a Trojan. It felt really good to know we're doing positive things and bringing someone back that deservingly needs to be back. And I think I read this somewhere. He's going to be kind of by association, he's going to be in charge of all these recruits the next decade or so, with his association. So that's great. NCAA is finally moving in a sense that lets whatever happen, happen. They got with it, and I'm happy he's back.
Ryan, what's your thoughts of Reggie coming back home?
I mean, I love Reggie. I love Lindell. I mean, I could speak for Sam when I said we loved our backs, man. As much as it was fun to throw it up to those big, tall receivers that we had, it was fun to run the ball. It's funny, that game that Coach was talking about, I think he merged 2 games together. The one that he was talking about with Fred Matua passed out in the locker room was ASU, where we were trying to get too cute with our passing game. And then the second half, we said, let's just run the hell out of it. And, man, it was like running on the sun. It was so hot. I mean, you remember that. You guys remember that game. And we came back in, and, guys were passing out. Fred Matua, we had to, come in and, cut his shoulder pads off and dump ice all over him. He was, hyperventilating. And so it was fun to run to block for those guys. And, I mean, obviously they made us look good. And we always joked about running downfield to maybe try to recover a bad fumble or something, because it was always us chasing after them. It was more us chasing them than them coming to the back of us. So, I mean, Reggie, he's such an all-American kid. You know what I mean? Like it's so funny about the NC2A because he's like the prototypical guy you want on your team. I mean, he was an incredible superstar athlete, obviously, but behind the scenes, man, he's one of the hardest working guys I ever saw. And then, he went above and beyond. He was that guy that was like pulling guys in that he thought might not be eligible for bowl games to make sure they had like tutors and everybody was passing.
Wow.
And, I mean, he was going out of his way to do all that kind of stuff. So to see the sort of extreme treatment he got in that regards, I think it was hurtful for all of us just because we knew and know the kind of character guy that Reggie is. So I'm glad it's back. For me, it's not enough. I'd like to see his Heisman back. I think he's very deserving of that. I think it would be best for the NC2A to do it, but that's my personal opinion.
Man, I appreciate you sharing. Hey, Lindell, you can't have thunder without lightning, man. How it feel to have Reggie coming back home?
Man, I mean, it feels good. It's only right. We all knew this was going to happen. We had a meeting with Mike, our athletic director, a while back, so we knew that they were going to be bringing him back. We just didn't know exact dates, but I mean, there's no dynasty without Reggie. We know that. Like they said, the hard work that he put in, the person that he was the epitome of our program, and when I just look back to the All-American game right before that year when it was me, Ryan, Sam, Thomas Williams, Reggie, Steve Smith, Whitney Lewis, we was such, we was just bright-eyed, bushy-tailed young kids. We never knew like what the outcome would be, but we all knew that we wanted to go to SC. And I'm glad that we did because, look where we're at. And, hopefully they give Reggie his Heisman back. We're all going to be advocates, behind him 100% because that's the only right thing. And, one of my other teammates in the NFL, even Vince Young believes it's his. So, they need to give the man his stuff and let it happen.
Hey, LT, man, jump in, man. Thanks, Thunder. Hey, LT, jump in, man. What's your thoughts on Reggie coming home?
Shit, just like everybody else says, a great day. He is such a big piece of the history and tradition of SC. You don't think about SC without naming Reggie Bush. And what everybody said, what he brought to us, not just from a football standpoint, that's all everybody sees, but from, the aspect, we wore 25-pound weight vests. I know you guys remember that shit. We wore 25-pound weight vests.
Mm-hmm.
Put them up, offense and defense every other day because, Reg bought his own, brought it in, was running around, and Coach Carlisle saw it. He's like, oh, that's a good idea. But it just made us better. So, it was just that's what everybody that was there, the coaches all the way down to every player that walked through those halls, it was a constant quest to get better. In every facet of life, and some of the greatest years of my life.
Man, that's awesome, man. The love that you guys and brotherhood that all you guys are showing towards bringing your little bro home. Kerry, I'm gonna start this one off with you, man. The NCAA requires its athletes to sign away their name, image, and likeness (NLI) in order to play college sports, while at the same time the NCAA and the schools profit off those same NLIs. In California, man, you guys have struck down that rule. So it's about to get real grimy here.
Yeah.
I know if I'm a recruit right now, I'm headed out west, baby.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you're outside of name, image, and likeness. I mean, just being in LA, entertainment capital. I mean, one of the biggest cities in the United States, great weather. You got all these sports teams. You got the Lakers, the Clippers, the Dodgers, the Angels. You got the Trojans, you got the Kings. You got beaches. And so, I mean, there's a bunch of different reasons. And obviously the education is bar none, it's private school, top 20 education, but, to add to your point, now you have this name, image, and likeness. And I think that's a positive thing for young men to be able to benefit and potentially, add value to themselves moving forward, whether they're in college or on their way to the NFL. And you know, I think obviously being in a big city like LA, being in
Come on, Kerry, say that recruiting pitch, baby. Get
yes,
Coach
sir, yes, sir.
on LA right now,
Coach
Kerry.
KC. But you know, I mean, I think it's a good time, and I think it's a good you know, obviously you can be in a small college town and try to get your name, image, or you can be in the city of LA and get your name, image, and likeness on. And they'll probably have some good stories about, you know, saying how LA treated him when he was in college back in the day. You know, when he's coming back from Arizona State and rushing for a couple touchdowns. You know what I mean? And you know, you can be in LA or you can be in a small college town. I mean, you can make the choice.
Listen, yeah, you can be in Hollywood or you can be anywhere else.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's all you got to say.
Anybody else wanted to jump in on that? Loafer, you seem Hollywood yourself.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
Hey, BC, you used to be a recruiting coordinator, man. How would you sell that pitch with the likeness?
KC's on it, man. He's been working it. That was first. Well done.
Hey,
yeah. You might get an NLI out of this meeting right here.
I learned from the best.
Show me the money, baby. Show me the money.
Let's go. Hey, this ain't the 305, Mike B. We ain't doing that.
Come on, man. Can we all get along, man? Y'all held down the West, we held down the East. Come on, man.
No doubt. No, the SEC's paying everybody over anything anyway. It doesn't matter. Hey,
Jesus. Shots fired.
Yeah.
Tell us how you really feel.
Hey, yeah, I think it's about time to come back. SC in that recruiting swing. I think Casey's on it. He knows how to do this thing. I can't wait to see it.
Oh, you guys are in the bright lights, big city, obviously Hollywood, man. How was it playing there? You know, we had Miami on, and of course they told us about the situation being in South Beach. You guys have not mentioned at all how just being in a big city, seeing Snoop Dogg at practices and Will Ferrell, and I heard y'all boo Kevin Hart. Like, give us some of those stories, guys. Anybody?
You get unmuted. We got half the guys muted here.
Unmute yourself.
Taylor made.
Taylor.
Come on, Taylor.
You got
Ross, we can hear.
There you go, T2.
Joe.
Lindell. Not right now.
But I'll touch on that Kevin Hart story. That was, I think, the 05 Rose Bowl, and maybe 04. And Lee Webb and Chilo must have got on him and just kind of murdered him. And obviously, you know, it was him against about 100 people in the room. But it's pretty dope looking at his career afterwards, how he just kept climbing, man. But that was every day for us, man. You know, Coach Carroll kept things very loose. He was a big prankster. We pushed each other. We challenged each other. You know, we all had fun, and, you know, it's what we signed up for. But nobody probably would have ever expected the run we would have went on. But, yeah, man, it seemed like, you know, I'm partied out, man. I'm washed now as a father, because, you know, SC was just it was just too much, man. You know what I mean? I was in the league in college, so it was great times.
Anybody else want to jump in there?
No, we're not going to tell no stories on ourselves.
Yeah. Hey, can you tell me about that Halloween prank that you and Coach played on the team? Can you describe that?
That was pretty cool. But yeah, he had called us in. It was Halloween, you know. It was me and Reggie. He had called us in, and he had basically wanted to you know, pull a stunt on the team. And he was asking Reggie to basically go off on the team and tell him like he wasn't getting enough carries. And, you know, he was trying to convince us to make, you know, Reggie to be the guy for about 5 minutes before Reggie was looking like, come on now, you know damn well it's only going to be right if Lindell complains about the carries, right? So I get to practice, and, you know, only me, Reggie, and Pete know about this. And, you know, Tino, our equipment manager at the time. So we're sitting there, and, you know, practice starts, and we're walking around, and I'm just, you know, from the start of practice, I'm just like, man, this shit wouldn't happen if I get the ball. Why y'all won't give me the ball? Like, this is crazy. And Lane Kiffin over there, Monty was over there and he was getting mad at me. He's like telling me to shut up and stop complaining and stuff. And then, I said something to Sark. I was like, Sark, I kept going off or whatnot. And then finally, I'm like, man, F this, I quit, So I walk off the field, and as I'm walking off the field, Tino's on the other side of the gate, and he drives me around to the one of the buildings. And, I walk up on the building or whatever, and I yell for all my teammates, and they look up there or whatnot, and, I yell to them, F y'all, I don't need y'all or whatnot. And, I as I'm doing that, Tino pulls me down and throws over the dummy, and all you can hear is like, oh, like, like what the heck, and all the teammates was tripping out. I remember the teams and then was crying about it at the time.
Thinking about it, I don't think it was a good prank.
That's not a good prank.
No, it wasn't.
That would happen. Hey, listen, if we would do that in this day and age, oh my God, I couldn't imagine what we would be getting out of that, But yeah, man, Pete's pretty crazy for that. But it was cool at the time, man.
I'm sorry. Hey, Frosty, tell me what's the best prank then? A prank of all time that you guys remember. Who's got the best
prank?
Yes, because Coach loves to do pranks. So what's the best prank that you guys remember?
I don't have a prank, guys. Someone help me out, Ryan.
I could jump in. I don't know if it was a prank, but Khalil was fucking unreal at drawing caricatures. He's little, and it made a whole day. As hard as practice and meetings and all that shit was, every time the defensive room, we would roll up the board at the end. We were going over the meeting. There would just be a new script, and it was unbelievable. Me and Grudegood were always barely seen because we were short linebackers. It was unbelievable, and so I appreciated that the most. I look forward to it. It was every Friday, right before we did the clap session. I was like, yes. It was like an unveiling.
No, did he draw the picture of Keith?
No.
Oh, he didn't draw that picture of Keith?
You have it?
Pretty good time.
Listen, that picture of Keith used to stay on the board around SC.
Right.
What picture? What picture?
Bro, y'all don't remember the body?
It was like a little cartoon picture.
It was just cartoon.
Hey, listen, Ryan's savvy with that still. I'm sure he can draw it real quick and put it on the back screen.
I'm sitting here thinking, what's Ryan doing right now?
Oh, for real.
Something's up. Leave me alone.
Jump in, Ryan. Ryan, jump in. You got to explain it, Ryan.
Nah, man, I've been watching too many people get canceled lately. I can't be talking about stuff from the past.
Hey, I'll say this. We were in the Rose Bowl. We were at the Rose Bowl the first year, and we went to Lowry. And Ryan's a freshman, and we made him as a team sing "Boys to Men" on bended knees or "Water Runs Dry" or something like that. And we had this. We had a joke on our team. Rest in peace, Fred. And but at the end of his singing the song, he adds in Fred's mom at the end, because it was always Kyle mom, Fred mom, Ryan's mom, and but I got that actually on video, man, and every time I look at it, man, it's just a funny thing.
A lot of guys stuck in the 90s with your mom jokes on that team.
No doubt.
Come on, hey Ryan, seems like you're a regular comedian. Come on, man, you got anything for us, man? Can you sing that song again for us or what?
I got nothing for you.
He ain't young no more. Look, he ain't a freshman anymore.
The best prank was Lindale pretending to be hurt every week and going out rushing for 200 yards.
Listen though, y'all. What's crazy?
No, listen.
Because y'all gotta be honest. Y'all know Pete ain't no practice, ain't no play. Somebody let me not practice. Like, there's no way you cannot not practice and play.
Back on. Hey, Lindell.
Smarter than all.
Mike Garrett. Y'all might want to talk to Mike Garrett. He used to come down and shut that stuff down.
The worst part is because you talk so much stuff. If you didn't say anything, we wouldn't have cared if you practiced or not. But you sat there and told us about your stat line and everything. It's like, get out of here, man.
Bro,
speaking of Mike
Garrett, that surgery at the end of the year every year, so something was up.
Hey, Frost, can you do your Mike Garrett impression, Frost?
Mike Garrett?
Yeah, you do your Mike Garrett, Frost?
Hey, Frosty, come to my office. And I'm like sitting there like, what? So I'm about to sit down. No, don't sit. Stand. It's only going to take a second.
For real.
You're fucking up. You, Chris Barrett, the Tustin guys, they're fucking up. It was like I was always in trouble because like Chris or Sam didn't go to class. I didn't understand that. I was like, I got to go to class too, Mike. What am I supposed to do? No, don't sit, stand.
Who's got the Ed O impression?
I'm not touching that one.
Come on, man.
Nah.
He said what?
MD, you were there in Miami with him?
Yeah, I was there. The Raging Cajun, baby. He was funny.
Y'all got the impression?
Huh?
Do y'all? Yeah.
What?
Yeah. You heard me?
You can. First of all, he was young, man. He wasn't married, so he was out of control, man.
Yeah, wow.
But I mean, you could probably understand maybe one or two words. He said, hey, Mike Barrett, let me talk to you for a second. Let me ask you one question. Hey, when we do that cover 3, what are you thinking about Michael Barrett? Yeah, so you may understand about one or two words, but you're like, okay, coach, I got you. You just nod your head. Hey, matter of fact, all right, now you talking about Coach O. Tell me about the recruiting stories, because I remember when I talked to him, he said, Michael, we at USC, because I guess the school in the hood, he said he went a certain route to make sure that we didn't go through the hood. Tell me some recruiting stories, man.
Hold on, hey, look, hold on. I'm a coach on the staff, man. We just got off sanctions and everything.
Oh my God. Be clean, though.
That's a joke. That was a joke, by the way.
Come on, somebody got a recruiting story, because he would tell me all the time about owning LA, leaving out. If you leave California, you got to get the best of the best. I know it's some recruiting stories on here. Come on, BC. I know you got something for me. Somebody saying, talk to me.
Nope.
I didn't even get recruited, so
here's my list. So the great part about recruiting in LA, Carrie, you can thank me for this later, was there were so many great kids just around in Southern California. You could fill great teams every year with just that. But when we would go out of state, we try to go find guys that would be starters right away. Lendell was like, okay, can he start? Good, he can play for us. Lofa, is he going to be a starter after the year? Yeah, he's going to start for us. So when you would go out of state, that's all you would go for. Guys who could start for you right away and come and play, or it was you had the home base. It was fantastic. We didn't have to go very far. I know Coach Seto would go bail up and down Bakersfield in Central California for a month at a time, not see one kid because they're all down here in Southern California. But we were lucky.
Awesome, man. Hey, as we close,
that's part of recruiting was going to Papa Doc's restaurant.
Yes, that was a good one. They shut that down too, by the way.
Texas shut it down.
Why? What happened?
No fun, huh?
I don't know. It's entertainment, quote unquote, because of the.
Hey, don't bring that one up either.
That was a great pregame place.
Hey, fellas, man, we really appreciate y'all coming on. Let's close a show out on this, man. Based on what's happening today in America, right? I mean, obviously, you look at the panel guys we have. I mean, we have a variety of different guys from all different backgrounds. And, man, just the brotherhood and love you have for one another is so real. Any advice that you can give to America right now on how to deal with the conflicts that we're facing right now as a country?
Listen to one another. I'll say that. Listen to one another. Everyone has a different story. Everyone has a different background. But, to really understand is to actually open your ears and listen. That's what I would say. Stay together and listen to one another. Frosty Rucker.
Me and some of the guys text about this. Sports should be a requirement, I mean, you look at the bonds that we have right here, and I know the ones that you guys have with all the teammates you had at every level, high school, college, and NFL. I mean, it teaches us to understand, to grow together, to be as one. And I mean, sports should be a requirement. That would be something, I know both of my kids, they're going to play sports, just to understand teamwork, that nobody does it alone, and all the life lessons that we've taken from sports.
I'm asking.
you know, hearing the Loaf and Frosty, hearing you guys chime in and give your opinions on the matter. I think it is.
Hey, Chris, it's Chris. Hold on to your serious thought because I don't know if you guys can see it, but Eddie O's with us right now.
Yeah, there he is.
What's going on, man?
What's up, Coach O?
Congrats, Coach O.
Eddie O.
I can't get enough people on my screen so you can see who all's there. You're talking to Frosty Rucker, you got Lofa, you got all kinds of Lindale, you got Christian Sharp.
Man, what's up, Frosty?
Hey.
Hey, you guys are looking older, man. What's up?
907. What's up, Coach O?
Hey, I'm proud of you guys, man. Miss y'all.
Yeah. Congratulations, Coach.
Congratulations, Coach.
Congratulations, Coach.
Hey, it's easy. Just get great players and let them go.
Hey, Eddie, they were telling some stories about you, Eddie. I want you to know now. They were talking about you some here.
Oh, my God. I'm not them days so old, man. Hey, Frosty, you guys would be surprised I got soft at my old age.
Yeah, I told you.
He
got
said
soft
that. I don't believe it.
Nobody believes it, Eddie.
I don't believe it neither.
You still bench 315.
Can you still bench 315, Eddie?
About 360.
Oh, okay. Well played, Coach. Well played.
There you go.
All right, man. Hey, you guys are the best, man. And take care, okay?
All right, Eddie. Thanks for jumping in. Love you, brother. See you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Right on, Coach.
There you go. Okay, back to Chris. My bad.
No, that was awesome.
That was
right there,
amazing.
Coach. You kidding me? Yeah,
Thanks,
no
Coach.
question.
That was awesome.
But I like even that moment right there, you know, and I think it just kind of goes to show that, you know, to hear the fellas' comments that they just said, it's the truth and realization that, like, these guys on this panel, football players in general, like you're more than that. You're more than that. And I think it's what guys need to realize is that football is not the end. You know, just because you get to this point or you get to the NFL, like it's not the end. Football is a means to an end. So once you get the platform, you know, you utilize it wisely, and it's not just about you. You know, one thing that we've learned at SC, and obviously we were able to carry it on to the pros, it's about the man next to you, and that's what you hear about. You hear from these guys. That's what they're saying. That's what they're talking about right now, and it's kind of like the microcosm of life is football. So if there's kind of a better understanding for the man next to you, that's when you'll start to understand and believe that it's not about you. It's not about what you think you can do or what you think you can accomplish. It's about the man next to you, because the man next to you is who makes you.
Right. That's good, Chris. Hey, Rob, why don't you jump in and give me your any advice you got for America right now?
All right. Man, it's just great to go down memory lane, but this is what I happen to be a preacher now, if you guys didn't know that. So this is what I'll tell you what I told my church family. Okay, Ryan, I remember having great talks with you, and I did with your dad, Frank. I just remember him and you showing up at our camp, and Coach Carroll, Coach O, and just offering a scholarship in that back patio. And I saw this deep love that your dad had for you guys were walking off after getting the scholarship. And I just think that's the thing that we could all relate to, that relationship that we have with one another. And those little stories that I've seen, no one will know that, but I remember that. But that knitted my heart to your family, Ryan. And also just like Terrell, just knowing your mom, Olivia, just knowing your story, just like Frosty talked about. What we talked about is having empathy for one another. That just shows great compassion. Like, I'm not going to go to a black man or a white man and say, hey, I get your story. But I wanted to say, you know what, tell me more about your story. Help me to understand. And I think that communicates incredible love for one another. And when we do that, I think that builds true relationships. I don't know how many things that could get changed by posting up a social media post or doing any of those things. Let's just start with ourselves. Do I have any issues with my heart towards people? Repent of those things, and then reach out to my brother or my sister, you know. And ultimately, I'm a man of God, so ultimately I want to bridge the gap so I could preach Christ, preach the good news of Jesus Christ. And ultimately, he's the issue that saves everything. So That's what I would say, Michael. Just relationships. Let's see, understand, communicate love by this. Hey, tell me your story. We all got a story, and I would not recommend suggesting like, oh, I get where you're coming from, like, because I don't. But I would just suggest, like, help me to understand where you're coming from, because I care about you. And then ultimately, like I said, you want to communicate the greatest message of love through Christ. So anyway, that's what I got, Mike. Thanks for the chance to talk about that. But I have profound respect for everyone here. And the thing about what Lofa talked about is that we're able to see the character of the man by the struggles and the fighting and the winning and the losing, the hardships, the injuries. And that's where, like T2, all those shoulder injuries and all that. Shoot, man, you showed an incredible character. Lofa, you coming through from Maine, from nowhere. And I still remember your dad walking you in, handing Coach O and us a VHS of your highlights from Maine. And we're making a decision, right, Coach Carroll? Should we offer this guy a scholarship? And it was like, it was like that. People like you, Lofa, just walked into our office off the street. I mean, of course, we knew your dad, but players were coming to us. And I was like, what in the world's happening? And so I just think the fabric of USC, we look at our facilities back in the day. We had cockroaches and rats eating our wires.
Pipe leaking over our pockets.
And so it just goes to show, like, it ain't about the building or the brick. It's about the men and women that walk through the campus. And that's what makes USC so special. And that's why I have this ridiculous respect. I'm just in awe, just listening to the stories. And I'm getting old too, so I'm forgetting some of these things. I don't want to forget this stuff. You know what I mean? Coach, you got a good memory. I'm forgetting stuff, man. But
you're awesome, Rock. What I want to just add, if I could, guys, is that we all wish we knew the solutions and how we could really change things, and we all want to, and we know for the right reasons, because we've had the rich relationships that show us. The rich relationships that show us, and what life can be. And the depth and the love that you guys have for one another, that is the answer. That is the answer to our race issues and the concerns. It's that we learn how to love everyone for who they are. And we've done that, and we've lived that and experienced it. And we're very grateful. So what we can do is to share what that is and share it to our kids and extend it to the people that we connect. But how important it is to have great relationships and how to love one another, because that's where you feel and gain the respect for anybody, no matter where they come from. You got to give to it to figure that out. You got to receive them, as Rock's talking about, learn their story so that you can, love that person for who they are. It has nothing to do with where they come from. And this is a great illustration of exactly what it's all about. So wherever we get our chance to extend the love that we know and the relationships that we've learned, and I'm so proud to have been part of all your guys' histories and all, and just shared in it. And because you guys have been through this connection that we feel, this is the expression of the future. This is where the world could be. And we ain't all perfect, and we got our issues with one and all that, but we love each other, and we care because we've shared our lives with one another. And it's been powerful. It's been a lifetime of experience and learning, and that is what we can show our way towards the solution of helping out. But let's all work at it, man. We ain't giving. I'm not taking one step back. I got to take this call right now. This call is to hopefully take a step closer. But all I want to do is just share the love that we have learned to build around ourselves. So thanks so much for being a part of it. And hey, Frosty, you got to admit, man, this is a pretty good idea. I hope you guys get a chance to do this again. Mike, if you can put us all on something like this some other day down the road, that is worth it. It's great. We'll bring more friends. It's really a beautiful idea. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks,
hey, love you guys. Fight on, huh? Come on now. Come on. Okay, my bad.
That was very well spoken. I don't think we could have spoke that any better than you guys did. The love, the honor, the respect, the relationships, I think was a key word that each and every one of you guys kind of alluded to or specifically said was so important. And we just thank y'all again for coming on the show and sharing that love with everyone else across social media. Fight on, go Trojans. For Sideline to Baseline, MB, and your boy K. Lou, man, we love y'all, and we up out of here.
Appreciate. Thank you guys, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, man.
Good to see you guys.
Love you
guys.
Sammy, good to see you, Sammy.
See you, Coach.
Hey, Dennis.
Sideline the baseline, you know we stay on our grind. Sideline the baseline, I'ma shoot my shot, I'ma make mine. Sideline the baseline, I'ma take it back from the goal line. Sideline the baseline, I'ma shoot my shot, I'ma make mine. Sideline the baseline, you know we stay on our grind. Sideline the baseline, I'ma shoot my shot, I'ma make mine. Sideline the baseline, you know we stay on our grind. Sideline the baseline, I'ma take it back from the goal line. Sports song. He said hut, then I go long. Scoring all them touchdowns, I gotta stand that end zone. Pick me up a basketball, I can make a shot when I'm in the dark. I can grab a baseball and hit the ball right out the park. I'm a crazy different athlete and I can really got talent. Basketball and baseball, two different sports and I can still balance. Can't forget that football, cause that's really my real passion. Catch me on that big field and you gon' see my real talent. Sideline the baseline, you know we stay on our grind. Sideline the baseline, I'ma shoot my shot, I'ma make mine. Sideline the baseline, I'ma take it back from the goal line. Sideline the baseline, I'ma shoot my shot, I'ma make mine. Sideline the baseline, you know we stay on our grind. Sideline the baseline, I'ma shoot my shot, I'ma make mine. Sideline the baseline, you know we stay on our grind. Sideline the baseline, I'ma take it back from the goal line. Fourth quarter is goal time, for the score on the goal line. We fighting for it, I'm bout mine. Make it through, we gon' try, trying to get 6, can't get 9. Like Dion, it's prime time, I'm on my grind, it's game time. I'm ballin' out, about to eat, they think it's sweet, no need to cheat. They dropping threes, hit feel the heat. Cross them up, got his ankles weak. Behind the back, got him on his knees. Like John Cena, can't see me, too fast, too much speed. See the dust coming from the cleats, deep tough, no passing me. Sideline the baseline, you know we stay on our grind. Sideline the baseline, I'ma shoot my shot, I'ma make mine. Sideline the baseline, I'ma take it back from the goal line. Sideline the baseline, I'ma shoot my shot, I'ma make mine. Sideline the baseline, you know we stay on our grind. Sideline the baseline, I'ma shoot my shot, I'ma make mine. Sideline the baseline, you know we stay on our grind. Sideline the baseline, I'ma take it back from the goal line. Sideline baseline. Sideline baseline. Sideline baseline.
Sideline. We need to get Coach O to say that. Sideline the baseline. Love you guys.